Hey, my name's Kelsey. I'm a genius here at United BMW, and today we're going to talk about the brand new 8 Series.
So as we look at the 8 Series today, some features will look a little bit familiar. That's because the 2019 8 Series was designed specifically with elements from the original 8 Series. What wasn't on the 8 Series was these laser lights. So BMW was the first car company to produce laser lights on a production vehicle. There are these tubes that you see here with the little light tubes coming out of them. These here in the States are the daytime running lights, the brights, and the regular headlights. The actual laser lights that would be here and here are illegal here in the US. That's why we have just these. So these are always illuminated no matter what light setting you have it on, just to maintain that authentic BMW look. So coming over to our kidney grills, always a focal point of the BMWs. These are also active kidney grills, like we're seeing on most of the 2019 models. Active means that they will open and close in predetermined situations to help regulate the temperature of the engine or to reduce the drag coefficient at higher speeds. So speaking of drag, BMW has done a number of things to reduce it here on the 8 Series. This includes completely covering the undercarriage, the inclusion of the integrated air breather and the side curtain that we see here, and then also a narrower mirror base here that originally comes from the 7 Series. So as you can expect, the 2019 8 Series comes with a number of high-tech standard features, including a limited slip differential, M suspension with active roll stabilization, and integral active steering. Carbon fiber roof options are available. That's actually what we have on this model here. And it reduces the overall weight of the vehicle by about 800 grams. Both of these options come with a cutout that you can see there that mimics the traditional double bubble design of classic sports cars. This was first introduced late in the 1900s by Mr. Zagato. For this reason, a moonroof will not be available on any of the 8 Series options. The 8 Series comes with 6 wheel options, one 19-inch option, or 5 20-inch options. The ones that we see here are 20s that are only available with the individual composition package. This angle also gives you a great view of the low-slung, sporty look that BMW is going for with the 8 Series as far as a luxury sports coupe goes. And then coming around here to the back, you can see that it follows that same design language as the 3 Series, the X5, and the X7 with these 3D elements and especially the 3D taillights manufactured with that darker glass. So the 8 Series also comes with something that we call touchless comfort access. And what that basically means is there's 2 predetermined settings, one for leaving and one for approaching, in which the vehicle will lock and unlock itself. So as you can see here, the 8 Series is locked, and if we get within 5 feet of the door, it'll unlock itself. And then in leaving, we just get about 6.5 feet away, and it'll relock itself. This is able to be turned off at any time in your doors and keys setting, and you can still use the traditional comfort access setting, the lines on the door to lock and then just gripping the handle to unlock it. So before we jump inside, let's cover some basics. The starting price of the 8 Series is $111,900, has 523 horsepower, 553 pounds-feet of torque, to 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. The convertible version does it in 3.8 seconds, just a little bit heavier with all that extra equipment. The coupe has an estimated 25 miles per gallon, and the engine is the infamous BMW N63 that's been retuned specifically for the 8 Series. So coming inside, you'll notice first the standard merino leather. This is in the famous Fiona red with a black option all the way around. This model also has the extended merino leather upgrade that you can see there. So the bottom of this is all leather, your dash is leather, and then through your doors as well, and around your center console will all be leather. And while we're on the topic of the center console, you will notice that this is one of the most recognizable features that harkens back to the original 8 Series. Back in the day, everything was tilted towards the driver, so this one is flatter to accommodate the passenger, but it does still have that same general shape along with the lines there that come out. The 8 Series also comes with the standard 2019 options, which would be the multifunction steering wheel that we see here, the updated light panel that's been simplified, and then also the center console. This one does have the optional glass controls that you can see here. And it also has an 8 integrated right there in the middle.
BMW has also integrated the live cockpit into the 8 series as a standard feature. So the 12.3-inch cluster and then the 10.5-inch center display here gives you a more dynamic information output as opposed to what was there previously. So over here you'll see your speed limit information. You also have your head-up display there with speed limit information. And then down here in your TAC, you can push this BC button over here, just like every standard BMW, and it'll change the information that appears. So you'll see your G-forces, your sport displays with your horsepower and your torque. You'll see your entertainment information, your driving mode, and then some of your average trip information. Any safety features available on your specific model will be found here under this button. Some of the standard safety features on the 8 series include the backup camera, an active driving assistant with blind spot, city collision mitigation, frontal collision warning, and the speed limit information that we see here and here. It also has what we call Parking Assistant Plus, which is found here under what we call your PDC, which stands for Park Distance Control button, also known as just the backup camera. So automatic parking right here, formerly known as Parking Assistant, will do both parallel and spots that you can back into, more traditional parking spots, by using ultrasonic sensors to measure the spot, and it allows the car to maneuver itself in that way. It also comes with the optional backup assistant, where it'll remember the previous 55 yards, or about 167 feet that was driven, and all you have to do is maintain the speed. If you go above 5 miles per hour, the system will come up and ask you to slow down. The 8 series also comes with the 3D view found here in this side menu, so you swipe this out and select 3D view, and the gesture controls allow you to manipulate the camera and give you a live feed of everything going on around you. It also has what we call car wash, so if you swipe out again, select car wash, it'll show you these gray lines, both up there and down here. So what that's doing is showing you if you were to go into an automatic car wash where you have to follow rails, it's going to try to help guide you through so that you don't risk damage to your wheels. So this here is iDrive 7. This is the most recent incarnation of the BMW infotainment system. This is a multi-module system, which means that you can press and hold this and you can add additional widgets or delete them. You can add entire pages or delete those. And that is a part of what gives you this 2 feet of dynamic information. So here you can see you have sport displays now with G-forces in addition to your horsepower and your torque. And then down here, these are the same menus that you're used to before, they just look a little bit different. So one of the biggest updates that we see is here with the satellite radio. It's going to show you the name of the station, artist, and song instead of just one at a time like usual. So coming down here, we have the updated climate control system. And you can use these buttons here to manipulate. These are your heated and cooled seats. And then this is your automatic button. This menu up here gives you a little bit more control over what you want it to be doing. You can start your remote start from here as well, or activate it. And then to turn it off, you just keep pushing down. So coming down here, of course you can see that we do not have a CD player anymore in the 2019 and on models, but this will be an option that can be installed here at the dealership if you decide that you can't live without it. Moving down here behind our shifter, we have our one USB port, the classic USB port, and then the wireless charging tray is going to be right there. Down here we have traction control, front camera, rear camera, the auto start stop, which is where when you come to a complete stop, like at a stoplight, the engine will kind of do a half off and then bring itself back up when you touch the gas. You have all of your driving modes. Adaptive is new in 2019. It'll adjust itself between these 3 based on your driving style and your location. Auto hold is going to hold you in place after you take your foot off the brake. For example, at a stoplight, if you just want to take your foot off and relax a bit in traffic, and then once you touch the gas, it'll turn off again. This is your automatic parking brake here. And then here in the center console, you'll see a USB-C port in addition to a traditional phone charging port down there, that 12-volt port. So
So one of the questions we get asked the most, whether it's a brand new car or just a standard vehicle, especially in the M range, is how does it sound? So being that it's an M8, it's not going to be as aggressive as the true M8 will sound, but being that it's not just a regular 8 series, it's going to be more. So this is how it sounds when it's in comfort. This is just it running, it's nothing crazy. Even if we rev it up to 2000, louder than your average, but not too bad. If we put it into Sport and Sport Plus, you can just barely hear it. It starts to operate at kind of a lower octave is how it sounds. And then again, if we rev it to 2000, it starts popping a little bit. So something to be aware of.
So that same idea applies to coupes as well. Every time we get one, people want to know all about that back seat. So in order to get in, you're going to pull up on this leather strap back here and pull it forward, and you'll hear the seat begin to move. It'll move itself all the way forward to allow a passenger to get in. You can see it's a good amount of space. And then to put it back, you're going to pull this all the way back and the seat will move back. So it is important to note that if you have the seat reclined completely, like we do here, you're not going to have very much room left over for a passenger. So it is important to move it forward before it squishes their knees. For reference, the effective legroom of the front is 42 inches at a maximum, and the rear is 29.5. The max headroom in the front is 38.8 inches, and in the rear it's 33.62 inches. So the inside is larger than the i8, but it's comparable in size and shape. So for reference, we were able to fit 2 of our client advisors in here, both of about average height. But again, you do have to adjust the seats prior to that rear passenger getting in. So the 8 Series also has an optional package that can be added when you build your 8 Series called the Cooling and High Performance Tire Package. And what that means is that the engine itself is going to get a more powerful cooler than it already has. The engine oil is going to get its own cooler. You're also going to have an M technology package, which provides more additional cooling to the entirety of the engine. You're going to get upgraded tires from what we would traditionally put on the M850 itself, which is going to give you a better stopping distance, better traction, all of that. And then it's also going to get an extended shadow line trim, which you mostly see on the outside with the black instead of the chrome around the mirrors. You're going to have body color mirror caps. And that's it for the 8 Series. If you have any additional questions about the vehicles, please always feel free to stop by or give us a call.